Indianapolis, Indiana. Welcome to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show, presented by Scott K. Nichols and State Farm Insurance. And now, here's your hosts, Brandon Reef and Jonathan Birdsong.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show. I'm your host, Brandon Reef, joined as always by my main guy, Jonathan Birdsong. He'll be joined here momentarily. We are live in living color, Facebook live stream, Blog Talk Radio. Big show tonight, the eve of the main event getting on tomorrow night with the NCAA Tournament. So we're looking forward to that. I know JB's going to have some things to say about that tonight, so we're going to have him on momentarily. But we've got Pacers talk, we've got the NBA Association, we've got college basketball, more college basketball news. Not only what myself and Jonathan talked about the other day, but then also and Nick Peterson, but then also going to talk some NFL news and notes. It was an interesting week in the NFL, needless to say, especially with my Steelers and everything that's kind of happened and transpired with that. So we've got plenty to talk about regarding that nature as well. So we'll get that all going and more tonight live on the show. We want to thank our sponsors. Top of the show, we want to thank our sponsors, Scott K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance, and Mavericks Custom Motorsports. Without those two, we would not be able to do what we do. And we're looking forward to many, many more years. And in fact, this is season 7. Season 7, Crossroads Sports. Our birthday was this past Monday, 2 days ago. So, we are 6 down. We're on year 7, season 7, episode number 293 tonight. Can't get it going without my co-host, Jonathan Birdsong. JB, how are you?
Doing just fine, man. Happy birthday, Crossroads Sports, man. I'm proud to be associated with the brand. Proud to talk, sports with Brandon Reef, every Wednesday or Tuesday night. We've been rocking and rolling. You've seen us on the sidelines, either at Purdue University, you've seen us on the sidelines, either at Hoosier, downtown, watching the Hoosiers or watching Ball State crack them up. You've seen us, cover Ball State golf and, and pretty much all sports. I don't want to leave nobody out, but, those are just some of, friends of the program, highlights that, that I like to, kind of talk about. And, like I said, it's great to be, part of the show. Happy birthday, Crossroads Sports. 7 years. Here's to another 7. How about that? But, Brandon, I know we got plenty to talk about. And before I go any further, I know I got a little surprise. So, Jordan Heidelberg from the Indy Lions, it's basketball country. This Indiana's basketball country. And, in this time of March, not only do we got NIT and Final Four and March Madness, we also got the ABA is in the playoffs. So at 8 o'clock, Jordan Heidelberg from the Indiana Lions is going to call in. Just check in with us, kind of tell us about they're in the playoffs. He's going to check in with us, and we're going to talk a little bit of Indy Lions as well tonight. So, let's get it cracking though. Where you want to start at?
Yeah, let's dive right on in. Let's talk NBA, John. Indiana Pacers. My God, John. Pacers were one win away from getting to the over-under that I need for my bet to hit for wins. So we need one more win to get there. But I want to talk Tyrese Halliburton. And on our Facebook Live page, we've got the stats up, John. Ever since Tyrese has came back from the All-Star game, John, 3-point field goal percentages, 4 of 10, 1 of 6, 1 of 8, 3 of 8, 0 for 6, 0 for 6, 3 of 10, 2 of 7, 1 of 6, 2 of 6, 1 of 6, 1 of 9. Something ain't right with our guy. He's not happy out there. I don't know if he's pushing, trying too hard, or what, if it's the defense that's kind of coming back out to him, but something's not looking good, and my man can hit a boat from like close up with, could hit
Right.
water if he fell out of a boat. I think that was the old saying.
Oh man. And this is the league, you know what I'm saying, where shooting is the emphasis on shooting.
And we've and this city has already crowned this guy.
Yeah. Perhaps it is the pressures of being the franchise player, and perhaps it is some of it. I'm saying some of it could be that the second best player, you know what I'm saying, is out for the season, you know, and kind of things are kind of all on you as well. Look at the story dialogue that we went through with Tyrese Halliburton. You know what I'm saying? We went from he was injured in and out of lineup because they were kind of watching minutes and trying to see if he could get this, you know, $50 million, you know what I'm saying, all in NBA bonus, and you know, and it kind of took away from where the Pacers were at winning wise. I think here's the thing though, Brandon. Like here's the parallel. Anytime his of course his particular shot is falling, or not necessarily falling, or there's something going on in his life that's temperamentally, you know what I'm saying, not causing, you know what I mean, temperamentally is out of whack. It causes, you know what I'm saying, you know, things on the basketball court. You kind of point to the All-Star break. I don't think we're necessarily at, you know, DEFCON 3 where we got guys in his ear or anything like that. I think this is clearly a basketball thing. But like, you know what I'm saying, the distractions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that our homie, you know what I'm saying, face of the franchise, that though he may be, you know what I'm saying, he's not that well adept just yet to handle, you know what I'm saying, distractions.
Yeah. I don't know. There's some shots he took the other night in the game that off balance, just bad shots overall. Just wasn't in the flow of the game. I know we're struggling. We don't have Benedict Mather in there. That's a focal point there. But we've got a shot here coming up to get a couple big wins that we need. And I'm nervous. Wow, there's a lot of news going on right now. Holy cow. There's a lot of Ohtani news that just came out. Holy cow. We'll have to get to that. But this Pacers squad, John, you look at their schedule. They play at Detroit tonight. Tonight they play at Detroit. Then they're at the Warriors and at the Lakers. Those were back in the day chalk up for a loss, but not now. These two teams. Then you're at the Clippers and at the Bulls. So you got a full 5-game road trip here. Then you come home against the Lakers and then home against Brooklyn at Brooklyn. So you got some time to make. I don't know where they're going to end up in the standings. I think they're going to be a 7 or an 8, honestly, by the time this is all said and done. Joel Embiid's going to be returning here soon, so they're going to be making a late run with the Sixers. But I feel like we're just kind of collapsing as the season's starting to end, you know, and it's our star player's probably tired. I think he's got a hangover from the All-Star thing that he hasn't figured it out. And honestly, all three players, I mean, Miles Turner's finally got out of a little bit of a hole, but everybody that was played in the All-Star for the Pacers wise, one way or another, has kind of sucked since. I know Miles has had some decent games, but overall, yeah, Pacers 1 game up on Miami for the 8th spot. Philly's actually beating us by a half game, and they don't have their All-Star Joel Embiid who'll be returning. So it's not looking good. We're up 3 games.
No, because you definitely should have got that Cleveland game.
Yeah. From
the other night, with depleted Cleveland doesn't have their best player, and we have an assortment of best players outside of Benedict Mather. We have an assortment of best players. So I wish D-Cop would call in right now, right? But I kind of go back to you know what I'm saying. You know, the coach is going to blame, you know what I'm saying, what they didn't do on the field or court, and I kind of blame who wasn't playing. Or who didn't get a lot of heavy minutes, man. I don't think Jarrett Walker got a lot of heavy minutes. I don't think you know what I'm saying, some of the reserve big men that we kind of you know what I'm saying, proud ourselves on for having the depth. They didn't get the nod in that Cleveland game. So, you know, they like to experiment and you know what I'm saying, I don't want to jack off, that's a horrible word. You know what I'm saying? But they like to experiment and mess around with lineups. But like we shouldn't be doing this with like 13 more games left in the season. You slid all the way down to 8. Last time we talked, last week, Brandon, they were 5th.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Carlisle
So
said he's tired of
the
having that conversation with the team of, all right, let's get it going. He's tired of having it. We can't be having it with 14 games left.
Yeah, that should be the frustrating part for everybody. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. He went with the best crew that he thought they could win against Cleveland, and I guess I would say during this entire slide that you know what I'm saying, you can pick and choose and see who's had a bad game or who had a great game, right? But again, I don't know, Brad. You know what I'm saying? They gotta the weathering of this storm kind of goes to the temperament of his star player, and that gotta falls on the head of Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, 100%. John, the dynasty is over. The Jordan and Pippen dynasty is officially over. There's breaking news.
Oh, what happened?
The Jordan and Pippen era is over. Marcus Jordan and Larissa Pippen have officially broken up. The dynasty is officially over now. So there's some tabloid news for you from Legion Hoops. So Scotty and Michael can get back together now that they're that train wreck is officially over. My question, John, actually it's not a question. You're not giving enough respect to my guy, and I'm looking him up right now. 1, 2, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 7-3, 8-3. So the the Bucks, John, are 12-3 since they've acquired Pat Bev as their defensive guy.
You're putting it on bad, man. It might be because Damian Lillard's playing a little bit better.
Well, I mean, Giannis has been out, and Pat Bev's been guarding their best defender. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out here now. Pat Bev, if the Pacers played the Bucks still, even with a good Tyrese Halliburton, I think Pat Bev would still shut him down. For sure.
Oh, my goodness. You on this Pat Bev train, I'm going to make sure I send this to him personally.
Please do. He's active, very active. But, yeah, Pat Bev would shut down Tyrese Halliburton. The reason why the Bucks are soaring is because of Pat Bev. Pat Bev is doing Pat Bev things.
That's not why.
It is.
No, that's not why, man.
It is.
They've got better rotation, man. Doc Rivers put a better plan. I told you, got rid of the clowns, man. The twin brothers gone. The Giannis brothers ain't getting no playing time. Stop that. And
Giannis didn't even get playing time.
Well, yeah, that's pretty bad, man. They beat Phoenix.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant had 11 points. That was horrible.
You know who guarded him?
That was a horrible thing. They're lucky that it was a snub situation going on in the NCAA and nobody was caring about the NBA on Sunday. Otherwise, everybody would kind of pick them, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. I mean, no Giannis. The Bucks had no Giannis, and Phoenix Suns got blowed out.
You got to watch ESPN tonight, 7:30, half hour. We got Bucks and Bucks Celtics. So, just that's going to be a good one there. And my boy Pat Bev is going to go out there and do what he does. I mean, the man's played 16 games, John.
He ain't shut down no unicorn. He ain't shut down no unicorn, bro.
Bet. Watch. My man's doing, man. He's only scoring 5 points a game, but that defense, we'll see. We'll see. There's a reason why they're starting him all the time. So, my other question, John, is let me go back to my standings for the NBA. Oklahoma City, the Timberwolves have lost. They're kind of lost 5 of their last 10. Injuries have kind of kept the T-Wolves out of bay, but Oklahoma City and the Thunder and the T-Wolves are all right there. T-Wolves are only 1 game back, but it's kind of those 3 for the top seed in the West. For me, John, I'm going to give experience to Denver. It may end up coming out on top, winning the West, or becoming the number 1 seed in the West. But then you got Clippers and the Pelicans, John. Pelicans won 8 out of 10. When Zion wants to play, they're pretty damn good.
They're pretty damn right. I was just telling this our guest tonight before we kind of came on. When Zion wants to play, puts his head down, man, he could possibly be, if he leaves the nightlife alone, and we know what I'm talking about, he could be face of the league, man. LeBron James is getting long in the tooth, y'all. Oh. And there's gonna be somebody out there younger. I know there's still gonna be the youngsters of the world out there, still hungry and winning. There's still gonna be the Jokers of the world still out there hungry and winning. But like, who's the real next young talent? There's gonna be that next one that takes up the fight. Could it be Anthony Edwards? You know what I'm saying? We know he has a dunk of the night on somebody, right?
Uh-huh.
But I'll say, or he can make an impact on something. But like, I'll say Zion Williamson does too. Zion Williamson, when he wants to play, there's nothing you can do. He gets steals, he gets rebounds. You know what I'm saying? It's highlight dunks, but we know the motor and the drive ain't necessarily there. So
tell me if you've heard this before.
Colors are playing well.
Tell me if you've heard this before. Early on the Pacers and Pistons game, 3 minutes into the game, Rick Carlisle's already called 2 timeouts. Pistons up 10-2.
Uh-oh.
Why can the Pacers? Let me ask you this: why can the Pacers never start a game? They haven't done it all year.
Man.
They just don't give a shit early? They want to get in the flow? Or what is it?
Who's the I don't have the stats in front of me right now. I'll pull my computer, man. But I'm telling you, it's all on Tyrese Halliburton, man. He's the leader of the team. I'm saying them walls are shrinking in on him.
You ready to trade him yet?
No, it's just something that
I'm just making sure.
You have to go through it. You have to go through it, man. And you also have to know that the media ain't got to know everything, bro. It's okay if they don't know anything.
Yeah, except for us, right? They need to tell us.
Except for sports.
Except for us. NFL, John, diving into the NFL. We've had some videos go out. Steelers have made some moves, man. They've made some moves last week. They got
some moves.
They're making some noise. That quarterback room got completely changed. Their first string, second string, and third string quarterbacks from last year are no longer on the team. Omar Khan has signed Russell Wilson. Got a 1-year deal of $1 million, 33's on the hook with the Broncos. Then he goes out on Friday. Out of nowhere, bam, trades Kenny Pickett to the Eagles. Kenny's soft ass, not happy that they signed Russ and he was going to be the starter. So Kenny says, I want a fresh start. Get me out of here. All right, fine. We'll trade you to the Eagles where you get 0 playing time. And the Steelers got a nice draft pick out of that too that they used. And then out of nowhere, the next day, Saturday, Omar Khan again, bam, Justin Fields for a 6th-round pick that can become a 4th. So you got Russ, Wilson, and Justin Fields now in that Pittsburgh quarterback room. And the Steelers aren't done yet. They're trying to make a move for wide receiver. The Brandon Ayuk or Justin Jefferson is the latest.
Yeah, because Minnesota is going to be dealing because they're trying to get more picks to essentially move up in the draft, and they need a little help. Even though they have 2 first-rounders, they still need a little help to move up to where they want to go because they want to pick a quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if that happens, though, Brandon. I can see the Pittsburgh Steelers maybe not making that happen and then going after their own wideout with their own draft pick.
Yeah, Ozuna from Washington, who I like.
Yeah, but that's kind of amazing how they went from essentially a team that got called out. I don't know what week was it when Mike Tomlin called them out, so they was having hard times scoring 22 points.
Yeah.
They might have 17. You know what I mean? So I look at it like that, and we know there was a style clash, a personality clash between what was happening between the coaching staff that was brought in with the Denver Broncos and what Russ was kind of told that they could get away with. Ownership, that's one thing, man. Ownership just gets real quiet and don't say a word, right? Uh-huh. Russ was allowed to be a diva because the ownership said, okay, yeah, Russ, you want your own office? Sure. Russ, you want your own whatever? Sure. And it's not, you go in these other places, man, Tom Brady got his own XYZ LMLP, but, that's Tom Brady. And, that's a little bit different. So, but no, man, the fresh start for Russ doesn't cost the Pittsburgh Steelers a whole lot. First start for Justin Fields. It cost him a 6th-round draft. Again, it didn't really cost him a whole lot. It might have some quarterback controversy if, once all the, the tape comes out and maybe if Justin is pushing Russ and then, by week 6 or week 7, if the team is like 4-3 or 3-4,
right.
The fandom and conventional wisdom might say, hey, why don't you put Justin Fields out there? But, until you can really see that Russ can't cook anymore, I hate saying that anyway, that Russ or can't play the position anymore, you got a great quality backup, we all know Justin
And if they need to cut him, they're fine with it because it's not costing them anything.
Yeah. Right. We all know Justin Fields can play. It's just the style of how the Chicago Bears didn't want to play with Justin Fields. Justin Fields, I'll be honest with you, Justin Fields might hold the ball a little bit too long for a quarterback, But again, we really don't know that science for it because his left and right tackles, for the time the team was there, they never got on the same page. So I think first off for Justin Fields as well, man. If he, I wouldn't be surprised if he plays a couple games. Yeah. 3 or 4 games. But like I said, Brandon, you have to have in a 17-game season, you got to have 2 starting quarterbacks, somebody that can, two starting type quarterbacks if you're going to, get to the playoffs and potentially win a Super Bowl.
Let me ask you this: looking at the Colts locally here, they re-signed their own, John, and all except for one right now.
Well, Blackman. Yeah.
John, they haven't improved their team. And wasn't that what Ballard said that this was going to be, was they're going to go out? John, they haven't signed any free agents. Again, we're dealing with this again, another offseason of the Colts not spending cap on getting other players in here, getting veteran quarterbacks or something in here, and you have not improved your team on a team that missed the playoffs and a quarterback that cannot stay healthy. You signed a 44-year-old quarterback, basically, as a backup to mentor a guy that can't stay healthy. You have done nothing to improve this squad. And a lot of people say they're upset, they're underwhelmed. The Colts are doing what Colts do and don't spend money. They do not improve the team, but they'll raise ticket prices. And Chris Ballard should be front and center for this disaster.
Well, yeah, right. Because they have $25 million in cap space. And we haven't heard anything about that money being spent. Other than, the
get your own back.
The one that sounds like Julian Blackman's not going to be a Indianapolis coach. Right? That's what it sounds like.
But would you rather get a draft pick on that or sign a veteran free agent? Because I would probably go the veteran free agent route. You don't need to go draft another corner who's not proven to throw him out there. You got Dallas Flowers, who's shown life.
Man, that's what he's gonna do. But then you're gonna piss off the people that want you to draft a wideout or a tight end.
Yeah.
Because they know that needs improvement as well.
Yep.
So I don't know. Coach sound like they're being a little fiscally challenging and watching dollars again.
And they don't know why.
And with that'll have you last in the division.
I mean, if you look at the rosters and the movements and things that happen, the Colts, I'd almost damn near put them at last. I would. Last in the division. I know that's going to piss off a lot of Colts fans, but
a lot of folks expect the Texans to kind of take off next year, and though there's still some heavy criticism for the homie Sunshine down in the Jaguar, I still think he's good. I just think, health-wise, like, dude, you got to, it's not easy. He's not playing 12 games. He's not playing, 14, 16 games. He's playing the full 17, man. Like, that's different than what Peyton Manning or Tom Brady had to ever play. They never played 17. They might have played 17 in the season. I'm talking about regular season.
Right. So. There's no good wideouts out there. You have Hunter Renfrow, Allen Robinson, Odell Beckham, Michael Gallup, who just signed with somebody, Tyler Boyd, Michael Thomas, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Russell Cage, DJ Chark, Paris Campbell, Mecole Hardman, Jakeem Grant, Josh Reynolds, Randall Cobb. Like, you've pissed the bed. You've wasted. If you're going to get a wide receiver, Can Chris Ballard seriously look in the mirror and say, "Hey, Alex Pierce had a great season"? No, absolutely not. I think Downs had a great season when he's healthy. But Josh Downs isn't going to be your number two. He's not a true number two, in my opinion. Either is Alex Pierce, really. But the fact you didn't go out and get anybody, and that's the talent pool that's left. Tight ends, I'm looking at here now. 39-year-old Mercedes Lewis, 32-year-old Logan Thomas, CJ Ozma, 31, like Jimmy Graham, 38. Like, these are the guys that are out there. I mean, shout out Brandon Dillon. Went to my high school. 26-year-old.
Yeah,
He's out there.
Well, he waited, so maybe he's thinking younger. He's going to go young, full young youth moving in the draft, which means it's going to be a learning curve for this coach team going into the season.
Yeah.
Which means it's going to be not a whole lot of wins.
Yeah. So, I don't know, but if you get to ask, hey, Brandon, give me a grade on the Colts offseason, I'm going to give it a D. D+.
Oh, come on, man. We got to get to the draft first, bro.
Right now? Oh, yeah, I'll give you a C. All right, sorry. I'm sorry. I'll go halfway because you did sign your own, so you didn't let a lot of that walk. So I'll give you a C. Now show me what you're going to do in the draft. Now, do you think they're going to go out? I know you're going to start your draft analyst stuff after the NCAA tournament, but they're not going to go at Brock Bowers.
He's not picking Brock Bowers. That's who if Brock Bowers is there when they pick, that's what it makes a tight end.
Who do you want to take? If you're him, who do you take right now?
He's probably gonna take a quarterback. The kid from I think there's another kid slotted in there. It's pretty darn good from LSU. He might fall in between. What are coach picking at 15?
Yeah.
Or 12.
15.
Yeah, 12, 15. So there's a quarterback from LSU that might probably slide between 12 and 15.
DraftKings right now has the Colts to make the playoffs minus 200 for no. So that's overwhelming favorite for them not to make the playoffs. Steelers, John, I'm surprised. I'm going to put some money on this. Steelers are at plus 260 to make the playoffs. They think they're really not going to make it, which is crazy to me. I think they have a good chance to make it. I know I said crown them, but we'll at least AFC Championship game against Patty Mahomes.
Right.
So other than that, let's see what else we got. What team have you felt like another team, John, that's kind of crapped the bed? I thought this offseason was the Miami Dolphins.
Well, one, they got financial. They got financial. They in San Francisco have financial problems. Where they got to basically kind of cut some of those C-level, D-level guys so that they can get underneath the salary cap. But you know what I'm saying, as far as them like making big splash moves, I can see that. I was on. If you say who's been unimpressive, I would say the Jets.
Yeah.
The
Jets
Bills ain't got nothing. The Jets really believe Aaron Rodgers? This is what they're running with? They've already alienated their young quarterback who was number 2 overall. You know what I mean? They've already alienated and run him out the door. They didn't. Sam Darnold resigned with the Minnesota Vikings. So, who's playing quarterback? Who's playing for the New York Jets?
Aaron Rodgers.
That's going to be a hot mess. That's going to be a hot mess. He's running for president.
Well, he's not going to be if he's going to keep throwing out Sandy Hook. The conspiracy theories.
Man, I was like, dude, come on. Brandon, come on, man.
I don't get it.
I don't want to get it. Aaron Rodgers, they just retired. That's what I say. Just retired. You don't get it. But he said, okay, so he questioned Sandy Hook, but there's other mass shootings that happen. You questioning them too, or just this?
All of them.
That's crazy, man. He'd never come on this show ever.
Never. You won't allow it. John, ESPN and the college football playoff have agreed to a $7.8 billion deal to runs through 2031, 2032. All that money the ESPN was losing now, they've signed that deal, so now they're going to make a little bit of cash from college football playoff, huh?
Brandon, how the hell is this going to happen, man? How the hell ESPN gets this money, college football, but the ACC, did you hear today Clemson is suing the ACC? This is incredible.
Yeah. They want those exit rights.
How could Clemson sue the ACC? Like, listen, Brandon, how can Clemson, all right, Brandon, let's say Clemson is out of the ACC right now today.
Yep.
And joins who?
SEC.
Let's say he's joining the Big Ten. Let's say he's joining the Big Ten. Who is Dabo? Who is he? Harbaugh ain't here right now. Okay, so he might, but he's running Ryan Day out of the Big Ten.
No, that's Chip Kelly.
Well, right, but like, no, man, Clemson, who they gonna join? The SEC?
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, you don't think the SEC would open arms and take them? Absolutely.
They would, but these other teams, Florida State, there's nobody really there to, like the ones right now. The Clemson joins the SEC, that's different. That's a game changer, and you might be able, technically, Brandon, they don't really need the Big Ten after that. As a playing partner, they would just need Ohio State. I don't really have high hopes, I don't have high hopes for USC football to succeed in the Big Ten, nor do I have a high hopes for UCLA basketball. We know, like you said, football ain't gonna do jack squat in the Big Ten, but UCLA basketball, it might struggle. I'm being honest with you, Brandon. Like these people forecast, I got my own forecast. Like you can see where guys is gonna go and where NIL is gonna go, where the money's gonna go. UCLA and USC, I get it, USC is like in Hollywood, but like football is not Hollywood, and it remains to be seen what Michigan is going to look like in the post-Harbaugh era, and it remains to be seen. Our homie in Penn State, he might have hopefully found a quarterback that can play and can score some points because that's what's holding Penn State back, right?
What about the SEC without Nick Saban? Because he was a very big corner piece. I said, what about the SEC without Nick Saban? Because he was a huge corner piece of that SEC conference.
But see, here's the thing, though, Brandon. They got a mouthpiece. They got that fool-ass Commissioner Conkey. Isn't that his name?
The SEC, no, Sankey. Greg Sankey.
Sankey. He likes to de-state us anyway, man. This fool, like, he don't care nothing about nobody else's conference outside of the SEC.
And you shouldn't. If you're a conference commissioner, you shouldn't. You should always be preaching how yours is better.
Hold on, Brandon. You should care about the game, and before you care about the. I know it's kind of crazy, Brandon. You should care about the game and where it's at before you care about the money that you make off the game. If everybody knows we're gonna make $1 billion, and he knows he's gonna make $1 billion, and the kids is gonna make $1 million, and the crew's gonna make $1 million, you should care about the sanctity of the game. It's a red flag, Brandon. Jay Wright is gone. Coach K is gone. Nick Saban is gone. That's college basketball and football. They would still be around. You know what I mean? That's a red flag because they seen hey man, the networks are saying that we thought it was the kids being empowered. I think it might be some of that, Brandon, but I think it's that the TV people is telling the kids and like in NIL, like the coaching that like this brand that don't mean nothing. And it's messing up with some of like things that we kind of like about the purity of the tournament or man, Brandon, I don't even know. I know you like it somewhat, but like this college football playoff.
Love it.
That they even ain't.
Love it.
Brandon, you love it. You love it, but they talking about doing 14 teams.
That's fine. Fuck it, let's go 16.
Man,
what else do we have going on in January? What else we have going on? Nothing.
They don't need no, Brandon. They don't need no 16 teams.
Why not?
Liberty. God bless Liberty. God bless.
John, let me tell you this. I'm sure at some point, the NCAA tournament, they said, hey, you know what? We good at 32 teams. We don't need any more. We don't need any more teams. Then they put the 64. And they said, oh, we will go 68. Oh, my God, we don't need no 68. 68, no. Everybody's good with 68. They love the first four, except for last night's Virginia game. My God, It's like watching paint dry.
Brandon, what are you talking about? You don't even call, Brandon, I know you ain't talking about 68 teams. You don't even call IU's win over Wyoming a win.
Who?
When IU beat Wyoming.
Oh, I totally forgot their program. Sorry.
Right, so don't be preaching about no 68 teams, bro. That's not. Don't be talking about expansion. Okay, they expanded from 32 to 64. What Power Five? When the mid majors? They ain't won yet. Duke was a Cinderella that turned the ACC and themselves into a Power Five. Outside of that, and you go to the list of champions. It's all Power Five schools. Every now and then you get a Weber State in the Final Four. Every now and then you get a San Diego State in the Final Four. It's all Power Five schools. Man, you trying to sell something? You can't sell no water to no well. Please, man. There's always gonna be a Kentucky up there. There's always gonna be.
John, you're too old school, man. You're too old school. Because you didn't even want the playoff to begin with.
So all right, let me ask you this, Brandon. Since I'm too old school, so when Indiana State goes through the NIT, whether they win or lose,
yep.
And then maybe coach leaves, maybe coach stays, all those players are still gonna get. I'm not old school. Things. I get that things are changing, but they're not changing for the better because all those players gonna leave, just like they left Ball State, just like they left wherever else, and then guess what? That shit didn't work out for them. IU got Peyton Sparks. He's transferring again.
Yep.
So, like, there's a little thing, there's an old school, we kind of know what we're talking about. When you forecast certain things and you see what's going on in the NBA and how it's immature with its young talent, and you see what's going on in the college ranks where Clemson is begging to get to the daggone, and the Virginia, who's undeserving, is begging to get to the tournament, man, please. The old school, I guess they should probably listen to me right now.
You better be selling it. You better start selling. Do some selling your theories for that. But it's John. I just think. I will say I think 68 teams is enough. I don't think the 80 something that they're talking about going to is really needed. Like you said, it's definitely about the cash and about the money for it, but also it's.
The only thing that's going to ever change is when a team like Notre Dame, a blue blood, football, says we're going to come down and play a home and home with Ball State in Muncie. That's when the economics change. Until then, the tournament, that money, that's not going to change. Like, put all the 72 mid-majors, put some more up in there. There may be some of them win. They're not going to necessarily get to the Sweet 16. It'll be a great story. It'll be a great banner for them. But, like, eventually they don't have enough talent on their team to beat that Power Five consistently. Again, Dad, you put it, and you know what I'm talking about. But if they change when they play, I'm telling you, if they change when they play, but they never will. Indiana State lost to Alabama, and they lost to Michigan State. Alabama, Michigan State would never play them. They would never come to the state of Indiana and Terre Haute to play them ever.
Why would they?
Because you know why? Why wouldn't I?
What's the benefit for them?
Hold on, Alabama is selling Alabama got a what seed because of why? Because they played Indiana State, who was a champion. Don't play me, Brennan. You got to think about it.
Alabama got a 4 seed, and their net is high.
Okay, their net is high. They play a basketball champion. That's what it looks like. They also had a terrible 1-loss record in the SEC, but because they played a champion, that's how they get in. That's how everybody gets in, because they schedule somebody decent. But guess what? They won't never travel nowhere decent. They won't never travel to Indiana State. Never. They won't never. Because if they lose, oh man, it looks bad for us. And that's whack, dude. That's whack. That ain't competition. Now you go run and play Duke, right? I get it. Because if you lose against them, well, we were dog fighting. No, you wasn't. Nuh-uh. No, you wasn't dog fighting. He's the highest paid coach right now. And I know I'm talking about next year too, right? But like, no, man, Alabama, man, that system's still out of whack. But it ain't gonna get fixed by putting more teams in the end. It'll get fixed when you tell a Power 5 team, take your ass on the road, take your ass up North Alabama, take your ass up somewhere else that ain't comfortable. And until then, I don't want to hear it. You can put 135 teams into the tournament, and it's still the Power Five is gonna come out on top.
They beat him by 22. Come on now. They stomped them. They had a good record overall too, 21-11. They were 13-5 in the conference. So I know their quad ones look terrible, 4-10, but
I know.
But their net put them at 9, which is the part that gives them the 4 seed. So I think it's a matter of if you trust the net or not, or what. Should we change the formula? Because I think the net gets it right 80% of the time, I would say. And then the rest it doesn't. I'm looking just down. Michigan State. I don't know. I don't think they should have been in. There's another team.
Teams like Michigan State use the fact that they play a Power 5 every week, whether it's Minnesota, Iowa, you know what I'm saying, Maryland. They're all considered Power 5, whether they're meddling or terrible or whatever.
What about Gonzaga? 3-6, quad 1, and they were the 24-7, 17th in the net, and they went 3-6 with quad 1 games. Some would say they wouldn't deserve to get in.
But he got in because of the brand. Brandon.
So that's what we're doing now, brands?
Brandon, if IU had a beat instead of losing to Nebraska, instead of losing Nebraska and winning, they would have got in.
No, they wouldn't have.
On the brand.
No, they wouldn't have.
How did Virginia get in? They won a Final Four in the last 6 years. They got in on brand. They didn't get on because they could score. They didn't get in on because
they got in on stupidity is what they got in on.
They got in on what?
Stupidity from the committee.
Nah, man. Nah, don't, Brandon. Look at the science. You know what they got in. They got in on because of their brand. They got in on because they're an ACC team. They got in on because they won a championship the last 6 years, and they don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Because Bennett still got like a little bit of juice in these streets, in these coaching streets. I'm telling you.
I mean, Carolina's won a title recently, and they didn't get in a couple years ago. So, I mean, they've left teams out before. It's not the first time. But
when that transition, did they have a coach? They did. That was a terrible job. They didn't want to go. The guys didn't want to go.
So what's your thoughts on the NIT, man? What's your thoughts on the NIT? All these teams saying, "Nah, we don't want to go. We don't want to play." IU is one of them.
So there was a vote, right, with IU, and I'm assuming with some of these other teams. Like, man, with NIL, Brandon, becomes free agency. What they call it? Like, not a sniper. What's the free agency? There's no loyalty, right? Like, they don't make them sign. I don't want to say make them, but they don't have him. And here's your agreement for 2 years, because we all know this level of basketball still needs some development. They're pros in the making. They ain't necessarily pros. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way. You would play in Baco? 120. I mean, I know he gets, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody's like, come on, man. Or where is probably going to go to the NBA, but like, man, the NBA overpays for potential. College basketball can't overpay for potential. College basketball is like, here, man, here is your NIL deal, whatever. We want you to go to school. Remember, you also playing for IU, whoever you know, you signed up to play for. But I think what happens is, man, when you have at the end of the season, you don't have connected. You really don't have a connected team, man. If you've got a bunch of free agents that came from, we got this kid from Duke.
No, they don't. Because the transfer portal is supposed to be more of like a topping, a seasoning, not the whole fucking main dish. Like IU's trying to go out and do when they have to get 7 players.
Well, that's what they're gonna have to do next year, because they don't have.
It's gonna be worse.
And this ain't the IU. Yeah, this ain't the IU show, y'all. For us to be kind of like bagging on them. That was the last couple shows. But like, man, they're gonna have to get a bunch of NIL, and like, what's that gonna look like when y'all know IU guys? Like, man, you want the IU guy there from the freshman year to the least of the junior year before you talking about going pro or NBA or whatever, man. But that's the culture that unfortunately that they kind of put themselves, you know what I'm saying, in behind. IU has, and unfortunately a lot of other programs.
Thank God that IU is going after a Cannon Carlisle from Stanford Cardinal for averaging 7 points a game and 2 rebounds. Thank God they're going to get him.
What about Max Marley from, Dan Marley's son? He transferred too.
He's got a wake-up call coming to him. But no, John, the transfer portal is a team is supposed to use the transfer portal like toppings on a pizza, right? It's not supposed to be the whole pizza. That's not
right.
You're building no consistency. You're not even building a program. You're, needless to say, you're buying a year. 1 year you're buying.
Right.
Right. And if he thinks this is going to improve, it's not.
I'm sorry, man. Cal has you transfer guys, but it's not a bunch. He brings in more McDonald's All-Americans than he brings in transfer guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And however you think of crazy, and how that might not work, that's what he does. I'm gonna get this team to play together, not a bunch of dudes, because like transfer guys already technically might have bad, bad habits, and that's why, because they didn't get along with their last coach, and it's supposed to get better over here. I don't know, Brad.
Let me say this.
I'm not for that. So if you have a team, and they're ready to play, then play the games. Play the NIT games. Play as long as you can play your college games. You know what I'm saying?
Indiana is trying to build a team off this transfer portal, and let me just name you some of these. They have 6 open scholarships right now. Half the damn team is open. Let me read you some of these teams that they're looking at guys from. Penn, Furman, Pepperdine, Canisius, Drexel, Mount St. Mary's, Oklahoma State, Stanford, and Nebraska. Queens.
When you become an NI rating, does that say that you can't recruit?
Yes, 100%. Mike Woodson cannot recruit. John, there is a reason why, after they announced that this man was coming back for another season, that their 5-star recruit says, I'm out. It's not a coincidence. It's not. And I'm not trying to be hard on IU just because I'm a Purdue guy, but I'm trying to make sense of it for the state. It's the truth.
Right, you got to tell the truth. Yeah.
They are doing everything opposite of what Purdue is doing. Purdue is building within their players, growing within their program, getting a transfer. They have some transfers come in, and they're sprinkling them on top like a Lance Jones to improve the program. They're not bringing them in to be the centerpiece and 6 out of 7 positions.
I just thought it was amazing, man. They only had one. They said just one guy's coming in. And I'm not.
That's a failure.
Deep dive on it.
And if Scott Dolson doesn't see it, then he's even a bigger idiot.
IU just have him coming in. IU with the old IU, even Tom Crean, they were like, "Hey, man, Lil and the other homie, y'all not getting y'all 5th year. We already got 2 guys coming in that's gonna be taking y'all place. Like, see y'all later. Here's y'all senior moment."
How does a school like IU have 0 recruits? Can somebody answer that for me? How does that happen this day of age where there's not one kid you can give money to and say, hey, come to Indiana? Is this not
the state of Indiana?
Right? What's going on? Am I the only one freaking out about this? Everybody else is just letting it go? Like, why is there no more fight? Why is there no arguments with this? Why is there no push towards this? Why? I'm not even an IU guy, and I'm pushing for it.
You said I seen them lopsided victory though at West Lafayette. I get it, man.
I mean, I'm not mad. If they want to keep Mike Woodson, keep him 4 more years. Shit, well, Purdue will beat him every year at that point. But there has to be something. You cannot go into if I'm an athletic director and I go, damn, we had only 1 recruit and we had 5 open spots and it's a 5-star. And then he quits the next day. Shit, maybe I should start considering my job now since I've already deemed that the head coach is staying. I don't get it.
That's good news, I guess.
I mean, the Indiana Lions out there could beat them by 30, at least.
Slow down, man. The homie from the Lions is gonna call in. So
yeah, they're gonna beat them by 30.
Uh-oh.
I don't get it. And there's not a lot of push. And this guy, for him, and I know we got on to IU, and that's fine because it's good for radio, right? But for this guy to get the way that his technical that he did the other night and just walk off the floor all cowardly-like and say, yeah, I ain't going to be out here for this 30-some point loss. F it. That'd be you guys.
Yeah, Brian Evans went scorched earth on him, man.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see and to hear different IU alumni, guys who played, because though they all might be on the negative side of critical, it's all different.
Right.
It's different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I heard Tom Crean, it wasn't super negative as when Dawkins or when Brian Evans, but like Tom Crean was saying that comparatively, not saying he was, comparing himself to like one loss to Mike Woodson as a coach. You know what I'm saying? He was like comparatively, like there was some things that I had to concern myself with that I didn't think I had to concern myself with. I thought I was there to coach basketball, and they were telling me about how many tickets we sold. I said, damn, I forgot about that. When you become the head coach of basketball at IU, you are responsible for the butts in the seats. Whether that the team is a 25-win team or a 5-win team, and we all know the struggles that Tom Crean went through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, with the recruiting violations and whatnot. So I'm not saying we should pour, cry me a river. We can't cry. Tom Crean didn't necessarily do everything perfect, but there's a different level of expectations. I don't know if Mike Woodson is similar. Like I think he just wants to be a coach. But, like, there's other things that kind of come with that job.
Go back to the NBA.
It's probably where he's going, bro.
Like, my goodness. Like, so I just looked at recruits for the 2025 season for IU and Purdue. John, I want you to guess. Tell me, how many IU recruits shows prospects in the state of Indiana, would you guess?
I'm going to say 3.
It's 3. Can you guess how many for Purdue?
Purdue probably 5.
You're right. It's 5. How many of the recruits, the prospects, do you believe that I'm seeing on here are the same player for both schools?
That's tough. I don't know.
3.
3, okay.
Do I think, and I'm looking at some of these IU prospects, and there's a lot of blue bloods. Like, I also think maybe it's the type of player that Woodson's going out recruiting that he's swinging and missing at these guys that don't want to come to this campus, and it's not,
Really, those 3 dudes that they brought out. So nothing against they're NBA guys, but they're not NBA guys right now. The G League told them that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The G League told them, y'all not NBA guys right now. Go back to school. Now, does that mean you go back to the IU? Because the commitment of a level of a IU, like, they ain't playing this, like, put your foot in, put your foot out. This ain't the twister. This ain't, hokey pokey.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? You with IU. Calvert Chaney, Mr. All-Time Big Ten leading scorer, he's with IU. Greg Graham, you go down the line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even the homie Victor Oladipo, 3 years, you know what I'm saying? 2 years, Big Ten championships, you know what I'm saying, with Cream. Crazy fight. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily great statistically, but like out there hitting shots so that they can get to the Final Four. Not tiptoeing. You might have NBA level time. You know all those dudes. They all scrimmage one another, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You might have NBA level talent. You might be having NBA level, but like right now, the scouts told you, you still need to go and you need to go to college because like we wouldn't even put you on the G League Ignite. Nothing against wrong with that because Brandon, sometimes I think some of them dudes, I think Jalen Green and some of those other guys probably should have stayed in school or should have went to school.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's where we at right now, man. Then I haven't heard, so we know the transfers are leaving IU, but I haven't heard anybody saying they're going to NBA just yet.
Yeah, I just I don't know. It's interesting, and we'll see. Looking at NCAA Tournament, John, starting tomorrow. Right now, we've got Montana State, Grambling State playing for the right to play the Boilermakers on Friday. Kansas Star McCullers is out for the tournament that Bill Self announced after he announced on over last weekend that this team would be the healthiest it's ever been, probably lobbying to get a higher seed, and then afterwards saying, well, McCullers is out. We're shutting down. So I thought that was interesting.
Before we go on I know the homie's gonna call it like 6 minutes or so, but listen, do you think that is the reason why? I want to go back to Purdue. Do you think the coach jockeying, the learning how to handle the media is what separates Painter from the coaches that have won it? Man, because when I was driving around, you know what I'm saying, and I listen, you know what I'm saying, getting gas or whatever, you listen to people's conversations, and they kind of, man, Painter's going to win his championship, another Big Ten, but I don't know, man. They think, they kind of question his coaching. And like, he like Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, he's out there working the referees for Edie, but like, I don't necessarily think he works the media or the other parts of his team, if that makes sense. You work the media, when you work the media start talking about the refs. The refs start calling. He said Zach Edey he gets fouled every time. He gets fouled more times than he goes
I heard
to
the
line.
interview he had.
So if he can't pay, what I'm saying, I'm not saying you go slimy like Bill Self. We know Bill Self is, come on, man. Kansas out there got money in the oven.
Right.
They was giving kids, here's your apartment, and then the kid show up in the apartment, he got $300,000 in the oven. Come on, man. That's what Kansas is about. But I think, this is the first year I really heard him kind of send messages out through the media.
Yeah.
When Coach asked.
Well, he did a little bit last year on the Edie situation, but.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
And I heard this on a radio show on Sirius XM the other day. Do you feel so? Matt Painter has been with the Boilermakers now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 years. 19 years as head coach of Purdue. 442 wins, 202 losses, 68% winning percentage, 64% winning percentage in the conference, 226 wins, 123 losses.
Mm-hmm.
The scrutiny that we've heard for Matt Painter from the public, from the media, from even say the fan base, certain people in the fan base, did we hear that with Gene Cady? Because is Matt Painter unfairly getting a little bit of, because of the generation now, that's more short term than kind of the long term that we had previously with the Bob Knights, the Krzyzewskis, the Gene Cadys, the Boeheims, like that. Now there's not enough patience with coaches because Purdue can go and Purdue loses and they fire Matt Painter. It's a step back for this program to even try to go out and try to get our coach, which I think would be stupid for them to do. But people would bitch, but what the hell else is out there? You see what's out there. Look what's down in Bloomington. Look how much they've been struggling ever since. When have they had a coach that's lasted besides the one that they had? I will give them was Tom Crean. I thought Tom Crean was a good hire for IU. I really did. But look where they've been at since. It hasn't fit the puzzle. I feel like Painter at a point has gotten some unfair treatment from fans, from the media. If you compare his numbers, he's actually on pace to beat all of Gene Cady's stuff. You there? We lost you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I had to mute on. I'm sorry. No, man, I think he even passes Izzo for Big Ten championships, regular season or tournament is whatever, right? But Big Ten regular season, you know what I mean? So I don't necessarily throw out the Big Ten championships out the water. I get it. I think this. I know you didn't go score third. You got happy. You went Happy Hogan and said, "Hey man, did the Boilers when you fill out your bracket? We did the bracket show on Monday. That the Boilers you're gonna win the Final Four." I got the Boilers going to the Final Four. There really is no excuse. This is a good team. That bracket that they got them in is a very winnable bracket, right? You know what I'm saying? The hardest one is gonna be Tennessee if Tennessee can get there. But I don't know. I think Painter. I know Painter's a great coach. I just think Painter doesn't necessarily work the media as much as he probably should. You know, and I'm not saying they're working like Bill Self, but you know what I'm saying. Even Coach K worked the media.
Yeah, he's less than let's see, 100. He's 140 wins away from Gene Katie, and he's 6 years less than what Katie's done at Purdue. So he's already he's only two.
Reality.
Yeah, he's only two NCAA tournaments away from catching what Katie was at to begin with.
Right, championship, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I just think, man, it's you look what else is out there. There ain't nothing really out there, dude. You're not that Painter's a guy. I'm not saying
really believe Jay Wright. They wouldn't hire Jay Wright to come in.
No, you don't want to.
The family tree. The family tree is strong. The coach family tree is still strong. You know what I mean?
Our man would take it over. I feel like before anybody.
Who's that? Big Brantley?
Yeah, the assistant coach of the year.
Absolutely. Amen.
They would be definitely into the program deep.
Right.
But yeah, I just feel like Painter's kind of getting some adjust from people just because not NCAA tournament. I mean, how many successes did Gene Katie have? Right? Now he had some, but not a lot in the postseason. Right? So 6 conference champions, 6-time regular season champ, 2-time tournament, 16 years in the NCAA tournaments. Record ain't good, but I mean, Gene Katie, 18 years, 19 and 18 in the tournament for him. I mean,
it's almost like for Purdue, you would rather them lose the Maui Classic, lose the any Crossroads Classic, right? But win the Final Four because that's kind of like what they do.
Yeah, you'd probably sell it. I would trade it in. I would probably even trade a Big Ten championship in, maybe 2, just for one.
NCAA championship,
just for one.
That would get the quote unquote monkey off his back. That would get.
I honestly think a Final Four this year would get the monkey somewhat off the back because you have to produce. You have to play better than what the hell happened last year. So I think Purdue. Now here's the thing: fan base may not 100%. I would say 70%, 80% of the fan base would call it a successful season if Purdue made it to the Final Four. I think the Purdue program, if we ask Coach Brantley, if we ask Coach Painter, making it to the Final Four, they would kind of consider it a successful season, making it to the Final Four. Everybody wants to win it. That wants them to win it, but I think there's that certain portion that says it's either win it or nothing, and I don't think that's 100% the case. I really don't.
Right.
Not that they're not going to play for it, but still, I think that we're there after that. So, give me 1 second here, John.
Because where's that fool ass that beat them last year with Fairleigh Dickinson? What's his name? Tobin,
yeah.
Yeah.
Tobin Anderson.
Tobin Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's nowhere.
This year they went 16 and 17, barely under 500.
Yeah. God bless America. They didn't even get invited to the NIT with his big ass head.
Damn. Damn. We got D-Cot on hold, so we're gonna have to keep him there. D-Cot, we got a scheduled call here at 8:00. So
if Jordan ain't on hold, I know if he's already. Let me just find out. We can get D-Cot in.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's bring D-Cot in. What's going on, D-Cot? Thanks for holding.
Hey, I know fellas, I know my time is quick, so I just chimed in listening to you all talk about obviously Indiana, Purdue, and Brandon. I think I agree with you, man. I think the place where Woody would be his strength is in the NBA because he's swinging for the fences. Similar to if you remember what Mike Davis was doing back then, and I'm not putting him in the class of Mike Davis, but he's swinging for the fences and missing. And I think he's thinking, hey, I'm Woody, NBA, very, very, very good NBA player. I think these guys want to come. But my issue is I think guys are saying, oh man, I'm not trying to go there because I want to be able to have my free reign. These young kids want to have their free reign. I think that's the issue that Woody has right now. I see my guy CJ put his name in the portal. I wish him the best. I really do. And his best may not be in Indiana, but he's going to be successful wherever he goes. I'm assured of that. But we'll see what happens. Also, I know you guys are talking about the tournament, and I don't talk a lot about Purdue, but
yeah, you filled out a bracket on the
Final
Crossroads
Four
bracket, D-Cop?
what do you say, Brandon?
Have you filled out a bracket for the Crossroads Challenge on ESPN? Because the dummy did it last year. If you remember, he got into it, but he didn't fill out his bracket, so he finished dead last.
Man, I've got to fill it out, man. You know, I've been busy with work and doing some different things. I haven't filled out one bracket yet. I'm gonna do you all. I got a couple of buddies of mine that sent me links for theirs. I would definitely chime in and do that one for sure, without a doubt. But it's just, I just haven't been. Yes, sir.
Swing for the fences, man. Don't just put Alabama basketball in there, man, like they do football. I'm not saying Alabama basketball ain't good, man. They can score a lot of points, but
but you know, it's funny, JB, right? So you know, we talk about no one plays defense. I just think it's harder to play defense. I don't know that no one plays defense. I know
no, it's not NBA. No, I will say it's not an NBA style defense that you see out of Kentucky, Alabama. Those coaches got a little bit more control, you know what I'm saying, in tune to their teams. Right. It's just that it's not as it should be. You know what I mean? Given
I agree 100%, man. I agree
given their reach level, and those dudes, man, Alabama and Kentucky got some dudes, dude, that'll be. It should be next level dude. And I don't gauge that. I don't gauge what they do, what they're going to be. But as basketball players, like defensively, like man, they should get every. You feel like they should get every steal, every closeout, every block out between those two. And absolutely, that doesn't necessarily happen with those. If we had a Stark on the sideline chewing up a towel, or we had a Patino, you know what I'm saying, coaching Alabama, man, it'd be a different.
Hey, what about don't forget Nolan Richardson. Don't forget Nolan Richardson.
Hey man, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't want to. I forget like that dude, the man.
Hey man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so we got.
Like I said, Coach K got a team that can put up literally, y'all, 100 points in this tournament on anybody. He also got a team. They got two guys that's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, somebody's draft pick. You know what I mean? They're gonna lose their mind, right? They can put up 30 points. But they also got guys that can become disengaged.
100%. Well, we'll see what happens Saturday. I've got some of my guys who are going to go watch a couple of games on Saturday and have a guy's lunch. But we'll see. You know, hopefully it's some good stuff this first Saturday. Man. That's what I'm hoping for.
There's no superstar like Clayton Clark or, you know what I'm saying? Like the ladies got all the stars. Like they got names like Juju Watkins. But there's going to be some guys like the Shannon Jr. kid. You know, I know he got the specials on him from Illinois. I know he got specials on him from you know what I mean, off the court or whatever. But this dude, athletically a basketball player, amazing. Amazing. Well, he's got to carry Illinois to a 3-16.
Right.
He's got to get with the right coach, man. He's got to get with the right mindset. And that, to me, I think that's what it is at this level, right? You got guys, to your point, JB. You know, you got guys that are very, very talented. But what do you do with that? Look at my young man, Mikey. I forget his last name. The young man who had the arrest situation. He and his teammate, decided that they would transfer from Memphis and go. I think it was Central Florida. Was it Central Florida? It's so different now, right? These guys are saying, you know, I don't have to deal with that. I'm gonna go elsewhere.
Right.
You know, dealing with adversity is a real challenge for these young men. Hey, look at my guy, T.H. Halliburton. He's in the media today crying about all they worried about. Listen, I'm the most balanced, you know, fanatic there is. Hey, Halliburton needs to shut up and play. And I'm not talking about what that lady said about LeBron shove and dribble. I'm talking about, listen, man, no one wants to hear that stuff. You're hunting. He's out there hunting right now. He's not playing any defense. And on top of that, the other night I was at the New Jersey Nets game, he's not rebounding. He's 6'5", and he has no interest in going to get the ball. That drove me crazy the other night. We had me and Tornado were there multiple times.
You just got to remember, right? When the shot ain't falling, man, you ain't got to make the
man.
Yeah, when the shot ain't falling, you ain't got to make.
Listen, I killed Bob Knight, right? You know, some of the embarrassments that he caused for the University of Indiana over those years when he was coaching. But he'll always say this: a guy like him, he's not having you're my best player, but I'm not having you do the little things. Ask Keith Smart in the national title game in '87. Sit down, Keith. You ready now? Go back in. So that's what I'm saying, right? You know, he's got to get that, man. And I just don't like the fact that he talked about how it's so unfair, the 65 game. This isn't Tyrese Halliburton, drill session, but unfair about the 65 games. The problem
I think he's got to deal with the pressure, man. He's just dealing with the pressure being the team.
But listen, check this out. Why are we gonna pay Pascal $40 million for this?
Right.
He can't feel that way, man. He's got to go out and hoop, man. And he's not doing that. He's looking for the refs. He's begging for calls, and he's hunting for shots. Do other things, man. And I understand that in the NBA, that doesn't sit well. Oh, just do the small things. But he's looking for all NBA. He's looking to get that extra money, and he's pressing. I'm telling you.
The person needs to get back into the 5th seed and get out of this playing game.
His issue is that all NBA deal. He's talked about it ad nauseum, and I'm just tired of it, man. So he's got to say, listen, I'm just gonna hoop, just hoop, man, and see what happens. I was so disappointed tonight against New Jersey.
Yep.
We're up 13 in the second quarter, and I left probably 4 minutes in. I keep this New Jersey for me.
It's his shtick. It's his shtick.
Because they weren't playing well, and I messaged you guys, right?
Yep.
We can talk. I know you all don't love my guy Isaiah. I'm telling you, man. Yeah. We got to stop people. And sometimes it's not your night. Sometimes it's not your night, and you got to try different things. And that night against New Jersey wasn't our night for our big men. It just wasn't. It was disappointing, but we'll see what happens on this 5-game road trip. We need to go 3-2 at worst.
It's bad. Right.
Yeah.
Win them all.
I'll say we're 5. Yeah.
Hey, I just need 2 wins. Get my over on the wins. Just got to get 2.
Man, it's tough, man. Being a Pacer fan, and you got to be objective, right? You can't be like those other team fans, Laker fans, all just rose-colored glasses. You got to be honest about it. Yeah, you got to sign Pascal Siakam. And yes, Ben being out is a little challenging, but that's not our difference. If you looked at that game against New Jersey, Ben not being there wasn't the difference. Our best player didn't play his best. That's what we need to have.
And he hasn't.
It's a 5-point game, man. We're 13 up in the second quarter. I want to hear this, Ben is out. Oh, what a shame. No. Your best player has to play better, and then your big guys got to play better around the rim. And that's the frustrating part for me as a Pacer fan, that we're not getting the best out of the players that we have.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it's the coach, because I was killing Rick Carlisle in the beginning of the season, but and I love what some of the things he's done. But he talked a lot today about, well, we got to stop worrying about this, and we got to let's see, Rick, let's see what happens tonight against Detroit, the worst team in the league.
And guess what? They started out down 12-2. So
what'd you say, Brandon?
I said they started out down 12-2. Now they've taken the lead at halftime, but still, it's and like you said, Tyrese is pressing and quit shooting. If you're in that slump, pass the ball.
Listen, I had a buddy of mine in one of our chats. He says, "Well, he needs to look for his shot more." I'm not the basketball savant. I'm not. But come on, man. Anybody who says he needs to look for his shot more, is because they're looking at, he's our star, he's our best player. If your best player gets 11 rebounds and stop with the damn no-look passes every pass, enough. I understand you want to be all NBA. You want an additional $50 million. You're not going to get it.
Yeah.
If you're playing, you've got to play within the framework of the team wins, he wins. And I'm not saying that comes from a management's perspective, but if the team wins, he wins. I don't think he understands that.
No.
Did you see what he said today about, well, I'm just a pawn. What do you say? I'm just a parlay or a pawn for these fans. All they care about is betting.
Yeah.
So what does he care about then? So what does he care about?
He better start caring about winning. You better start caring about winning.
Yeah.
Winning coincides with all the money.
And here's the deal. I'll tell you this, right? These guys, they talked about, well, we don't like the 65-game deal. Do they realize and understand that they voted to approve it?
Right.
I mean, listen, man, I love that. Hey, you also have to think of me and his dad. Hey, his dad is cool as hell, by the way. His dad is so. I mean, that dude seems like a really solid dude. So, but when you sit there talking about, I'm just a pawn, I'm this, that's how you're playing. If you listen to what he says, watch how he plays.
Yeah.
His dad is supporting him, but his dad needs to put his foot in his ass. Because that's not what you do to get where you want to be. Yeah, I love your smile, you're talking, all this stuff, but you're only smiling when things are going good for you.
Right.
Look at his body language when he gets that foul called him.
Two games I know right in my mind, they should have beat Chicago. And you want to have that Cleveland game back if you just lost.
That Chicago game was disgusting.
And that's the crazy part about it, right? They're understaffed. I guess work-wise, they're undermanned, and we go and we. Hold on.
Hello. No.
You're good, JB.
Go ahead.
I'm good. I mean,
I can't say they're understaffed, man. That Toppin dude needs to get out there and play, bro. Get out there and play. Man. You know, Aaron Neesmith had some clangers. I don't necessarily think Aaron Neesmith is the answer at shooting guard, but they had him out there. I still think he's 100% okay, right? But my guy, my favorite pacer, of course, TJ, but I'm gonna tell you this: if it's not, I'll follow the sword. If it's not for TJ McConnell, I can think of about 5 other games we lose. Well, they've been letting Ben Shepherd. Sometimes it's okay to let Ben Shepherd sit down.
Right. But here's the thing, right? But the thing is, when people game playing for TJ, it's a different game.
Yeah.
But and New Jersey's not a really smart team. He had his way with them. I don't know if they watch film. They pay attention. Maybe he's a 6-foot, European guy that's not, he's not going to dunk over us. He's not a 3-shooter, and they miss him. That dude balls, man. So I love what he does. So I'm hoping
one more time, fake T.
and you know what? That's over Nembhard. Yeah. Nembhard has his moment.
Nembhard, he ain't stepped up like he should have. Yeah.
Right. So I'm not saying bench him and don't play him. But I'll say this, TJ, the way he's been playing the last, 10 games, I'm going to tell you this. Look at the sports rooms. Other teams' fans are talking about him. Talk about TJ. Man, that guy's good. But they don't understand the teams aren't game planning for him, and that's okay. But my issue is with our team, we look like we're having fun on the bench, but we need to have fun on the court by making things happen, right? And it's not happening right now. And it starts tonight. We're beating Detroit, the worst team in the league. And then you get some momentum going forward from there. Because I'm going to tell you this, Philadelphia is going to continue to lose, and Miami is going to continue to lose. And you heard it here. So they talked about Jimmy Butler day-to-day, the coach said day-to-day. There's something going on in Miami, something internal going on in Miami. And I hope it keeps going. I hope it keeps going. Because they're behind us right now. I still think we can be a 5th or 6th seed, but we got to make sure we make the decision to play ball. Yeah, right. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm looking forward to. We got to get together, fellas. Last year, I know, Brandon, you and I did the casino thing. Well, not you before last year.
Yeah,
but
JB's
let's get
been
together, man. We can do Hooters downtown or whatever.
It's hard to get JB out. He's got deadlines.
Hey, JB, don't put that on me. JB, you need to email me your address. I'm coming to pick you up. Me and Todd Jr. We're gonna come pick you up. We're gonna come pick you up. Hey, I got you, man. We're gonna hang out, we have a good time. We gotta do that, man. That'll be a good thing. I'll even get that loser, that one guy that goes to Pacer games with me every now and then. I'll even get him out.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, D-Cop. Take care, my guy.
I appreciate you all. Love the show, man. Appreciate y'all. Be safe, fellas.
Yep. See ya.
Vegan.
The vegan. Last two things I had, John. Scott Drew is staying at Baylor. He was a top target for the Louisville job. He is going to stay. And I'll say the statement. You can give your take on it, and then after that, we can wrap the show. Juwan Howard out at Michigan.
Just internally, man, he lost too much. Lost transfers. Hunter Dickinson lost lottery picks, son, and the other kids who kind of not getting any kind of playing time, and lost most importantly games this year. Michigan is not accustomed to not accustomed to losing, and they have talent, and they expected a lot more out of Juwan Howard.
Right.
Some can say kind of point to the short term and the short hook, but like there's just some things everybody like you pull back the curtain, man. You go back to him going after coaches on the sideline of other coaches, and now there was internally reported that that he had a beef, an internal beef with a coach on his own staff. So just some internal problems all around that Michigan just want to. He's always in his statement. He says he's a Michigan man, through and through, and always going to support the university. But university expects winning, and that didn't happen. And this last year they were last in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And that is not what Michigan brand of basketball where they want to be at. So
yep,
they made a change. So I'm sure we'll see Juwan. I'm sure we'll see Juwan somewhere back in the pro ranks.
Yeah, I think so. Be sure to join the Crossroads Sports Bracket Challenge. It's on Facebook. It's on Twitter. Be sure to join it. You got less than 16 hours. 16 hours till the game start. Get your bracket in. John, I'm looking at you as well. Get your bracket in on there. Get it filled out so we can start the trash talking. I'm going to post our picks on Twitter and on Facebook tomorrow morning. That way nobody tries to steal anything tonight from us. I'll post my bracket as well. But I'm excited, John. March Madness, one of the exciting times here. I'll be excited and nervous at the same time. See how the Purdue Boilermakers can, how they do, if they can make their way through. So looking forward to that. We've got NBA. NBA is approaching the playoffs, so we've got that coming down the pipeline. We've got Indy 500. We've got the Masters golf coming up in a few weeks.
Oh my goodness!
So a lot is going on, and it's coming down the pipeline quick. This is episode 293, season 7. Ooh. Season 7, John. Didn't think we'd get to season 7. If you asked me 7 years ago, would this be 7 years into it? I would not have thought that. But we're going to get bigger, better than ever. We're going to prove those guys wrong at the Butler. We're going to prove those guys wrong in Notre Dame. We're going to prove those guys wrong down at 125 South Pennsylvania. We're going to prove those guys wrong at the NCAA. And we're going to get there. So, but season 7 started off with a bang tonight, John. It's exciting. I'm excited to have you along with the ride with me once again. And we're going to make it a great year.
Absolutely, man. Y'all listen to what Brandon Reed said. I stamp it 100%. Thanks to Scott K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance. Thanks to Maverick Coast Motorsports for being our sponsors. Crossroads Sports. We're going to be back here next week, try to do it bigger and better than ever. I know I said we've had a guest, man. Guess what? We're probably going to have 3 next week. So be tuned for that, man. I'm texting right now. He missed it. Jordan Heidelberg will be back next week. So outside of that, that's Brandon Reed. I'm Jonathan Burshaw. Everybody, thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening.